Dear learners, in this session, we shall discuss on SDGs in India, an overview to be achieved by 2030. It's a global goal. All goals are for bringing prosperity, social inclusion, to maintain environmental sustainability that can be achieved into this context with good governance. And today, in this session, we shall touch upon India's response on Sustainable Development Goals with a quick overview on National Development Agendas and SDGs. How these SDGs in Indian context, how it has to be implemented or it has been implemented, how the leadership and coordination, and in what way we are achieving and we have to achieve more. So we'll touch upon the localization, way of monitoring of the progress, and our SDG India Index. In fact, if you look into the population of India, India is home to 1/6 of the planet's humanity. So India should play, or India is playing, a key role in Agenda SDGs 2030 to ensure the prosperity and sustainability of the planet and its people. India has raised the levels of prosperity for its people manifolds in the recent past, even before SDGs and the MDGs were introduced. However, still, we have many more challenges in our country, including health, nutrition, basic infrastructure, quality of education, etc. In this commitment to attain SDG, it can be translated into transforming this country by improving our socio-economic environmental indicators. And if you look into the nature of different goals of SDGs are being horizontally interconnected. So it is clearly recognized that attainment of SDGs cannot be achieved by launching an individual scheme. It requires a multi-pronged strategy and convergent set of intervention at different levels of government on a sustainable basis. If we look into SDGs, National Development Agendas and the Sustainable Development Goals, that is in national level, if we discuss in context of the country, at the macro level, India's key development programs, policy focus and resource allocation needs to be aligned with SDG. So we have already done. This shows that, as I mentioned, we have, our country have already implemented a number of program policy and allocated a number of resources with the broad objective of what SDGs is discussing today since our independence. For example, if you look into some of the new initiatives, Ayushman Bharat means Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana that covers about 500 million persons and is one of the largest health protected scheme in the world. It's also closely aligned with SDG Goal 3, health and well-being, and even SDG 10, that is reduce inequalities. India's comprehensive climate action agenda and leadership in International Solar Alliance that aims to achieve the same outcomes with SDG 7, that is on clean and affordable energy, envisions. And we have some new more programs like India's aspirational district programs, which intend to bring holistic development to 112 relatively backward districts of the country, thereby contributing to regional inequality alliance with the spirit of SDG 10 that reduce inequalities. One of the strategy documents prepared by NITI Aayog, that strategy for New India at 75, started out a part of transformation until 2022. That also focuses on how the strategies put forward will help the country to meet different SDGs targets. All our new initiatives, our initiative, policy and plannings are twinned with that of the SDG. So who are taking leadership and coordination? So when we talk about leadership and coordination, who is taking important role and what are the strategies it follows? So leadership and coordination is taken by NITI Aayog, that is National Institution for Transforming India. While our government program will contribute to the progress towards achieving the global goals, it is also equally essential to put in place a coordination and monitoring mechanism. So at the national level, NITI Aayog is designated as the government institution responsible for overall coordination and monitoring of the SDGs in the country. And this institution work closely, means NITI Aayog work closely with the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, which is accountable for the development of the baseline data on the National Indicators Framework. All central ministries, state union territory governments, international development organizations such as the UN system, think tanks and the civil society organization in driving the adoption, implementation and monitoring of the SDG agendas. The SDG task force that is constituting senior officers from crucial ministries and leaders from think tank and civil organization offers timely guidance and support. So in this line, NITI Aayog leads a host of monitoring efforts at different levels. NITI Aayog follows twofold strategy. On the one hand, it sensitizes and makes aware relevant stakeholders, build capacities and facilitates implementation and monitoring of SDGs and its targets through aligned programs, schemes in collaboration with states, union territories and other institutions, including academia, civil society, UN and international organizations. On the other, NITI Aayog drives several innovative programs and initiatives in several sectors that's corresponding to the SDGs, like Sabke Saath, Sabke Vikas. That means collective effort, inclusive growth. That is a strategy for New India at 75. Then we have aspirational district program. Then we know we have competitive federalism is introduced. Then output outcome monitoring framework. These are some of the strategies NITI Aayog introduced. So when we see the expression of Sabke Saath, Sabke Vikas, or translates age, collective effort, inclusive growth, it forms the cornerstone of our national development agendas, means inclusiveness. To fast track this particular agenda, NITI Aayog has released a 3-year action agenda covering year 2017-18 to 2019-20 and unfurled the strategy going forward, strategy for New India at 75. Reflecting, as you know, our country's long-standing federal tradition, states and the union territories participate actively to prepare these documents and are based on the SDG framework. The first element of this strategy is to ensure that attainment of the SDGs becomes central to the policy goals of not only the different ministries in the central government, but also of the state government. Because many sectors requiring sustained and strategic interventions are enumerated in state level or concurrent list of Schedule 7 of the Indian Constitution. Like if you look into health, nutrition, education, water resource management, agriculture, and many more. By giving the complex nature of the tasks involved, NITI Aayog uses the framework of cooperative as well as competitive federalism to align the policies and the schemes of the state and central government in these sectors to achieve the SDGs. When we look into aspirational district program, which is introduced by NITI Aayog, the aspirational district program, it was launched in the true spirit of cooperative and competitive federalism. Over the last few years, 2-3 years, 112 backward districts across the country have been learning from and competing against each other to record improvement across SDG 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 that focuses on health and nutrition, education, agriculture and water resources, financial inclusion and skill development, and basic infrastructure. When you want to achieve something with a target, we need to develop a competition. And that's why the nation coordinator, where NITI Aayog plays key roles in achieving SDGs, by 2013 in India, they introduced another strategy, competitive federalism, to drive the spirit of competition among states and union territories and establish structure of evidence-based policy making by devising a robust mechanism for monitoring evaluation of outcomes in key sectors of governance, focusing on effective management and better results backed by data analysis. NITI Aayog has developed several social indices and dashboards, like the Composite Water Management Index, the Health Outcome Index, the School Education Quality Index, India Innovation Index. These are some of the specific sectoral initiatives in this direction so that we can assess the progress through this mechanism of competitive federalism. Another strategy, output outcome monitoring framework. There has been a significant paradigm shift from input-driven evaluation of a scheme to the outcome-based evaluation. And if you look back into how the performance of the states, different states was monitored, you will see decade back, we followed that input-driven evaluation schemes. Now it has changed into outcome-based evaluation. In this new outcome monitoring framework developed by NITI Aayog, the output and outcomes of the schemes of union ministries and departments are linked with the financial outlays as a part of union budget of different, that is presently that is in 2019-20, that financial year. If we are effectively use this framework-based evaluation system, this will significantly enhance transparency, predictability, and ease of understanding of the government's development agendas, and that linkages with the SDGs. So if we know in this as a democratic country, and if we look into our structure of federalism and looking into the social structure, looking into the cultural diversity, more of environmental diversity, geographical diversity, we need to look into the effective implementation of this program of different SDGs that needs to look into our local level. So localization is also one of the important processes where NITI Aayog is implementing, effectively utilizing. Because the states and union territories are the most essential players in the journey towards localization of all these SDGs. And in our federal structure of the administration and the corresponding divisions of powers and responsibilities between central and the state or union government, policies and program design, implementation, and monitoring by the state union territories are very important, vital to the success of the SDGs in India. That's why there is a need for localization of SDGs. And NITI Aayog is interacting with states, with every state, twice every year at state level interaction. At a local level also, we need to follow some of the mechanism. And that's why another approach NITI Aayog follow is institutional mechanism at local level. And in this line, the states or union territories have put in place institutional structure to take the SDGs agenda forward. Most of the states, union territories have designated their planning department as nodal agency to coordinate SDG efforts. Even some states, union territories have created dedicated cells or units within or outside their planning department to be responsible for SDG. At the country level, NITI Aayog is the coordinating body. At the state level, with support of key ministry, right? At the state level, most of the states, they are designated planning department as a nodal agency. Otherwise, in some state, they have, dedicated cell within or outside state planning department that's important responsible for SDGs. Okay. And even some designated officer in its government department that are responsible to coordinate SDGs related activities at the department level is also giving the responsibility. Then inside the state, at the intra-state, you will see at the district level again, structure has been put. In some state, you will see they have review mechanism under senior leadership of chief minister or chief secretary to monitor the progress. So the structure of coordination is, we will see from NITI Aayog, then and the coordination is in state level is planning department or dedicated department, then each department have their own responsible officials, and in state level then under the chairmanship of, under the coordinatorship of the chief minister or chief secretary, then all the district has and then their district level structure. So in this way, the localization is continuously coordinated and continuously monitoring the progress in a well-structured federalist, structure of under India's federal structure. So at the global level, NITI Aayog has been representing in India at various SDG monitoring and reviewing platform. Then comes monitoring. The progress towards the SDGs is majorly driven by the policies, schemes, programs, campaign of the government and private sector, and public action to an extent. It is imperative to put in place a monitoring mechanism with defined indicators, targets, and milestones to track and monitor the direction and pace of progress. So, monitoring of the SDG at national or state level, if you look into India's federal structure, is thus a critical aspect of strategy for achieving them. So to achieve that, the national coordinator, NITI Aayog, has done extensive work for monitoring at the national level, and it closely works with all the states and union territories to drive SDG monitoring at different levels, at the state and at district levels. At the national level, one of the first initiatives undertaken was to make the schemes, policies, and programs of the central government that correspond to SDG target. Then the national indicator framework that put together by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. And this national indicator framework, it has 306 indicator, and this will be used to monitor the progress of the country towards achieving the SDG target. With the mandate of overall supervision of the Agenda 2030, NITI Aayog prepared the first ever subnational index for SDG for India in 2018 that ranks all the states, union territories based on their performance under the SDG framework. The index was prepared by under the coordination of NITI Aayog that also highlights the areas where the states or union territories have made progress and those issues which demand attention. The details of index and its methodology will discuss in the differentiation. So most of the states or union territories that have made their government schemes, programs and policies with the SDG targets, they are assigning the responsibility of targets to their respective department. Ministry of Statistics and the Program Implementation has issued guidelines to all states, union territories to draft their own state indicator framework to monitor progress at the state level. The states are also being encouraged to develop district indicator framework and district index to rank the performance of their district and trigger healthy competition and develop online dashboard to democratize the information on progress and the challenges. So the underlying principle behind all this initiative is the approach of cooperative and competitive federalism, which NITI Aayog strives to push in every aspect of its work with the states or union territories. What is it? Let us look into some of the performance on SDG India Index. The SDG India Index 1, which was launched in December 2018, it is preceded the finalization of National Indicator Framework. The index was computed using 62 indicators that covers 13 SDG. Goals 12 and 13, 14 and 17 could not be included owing to the lack of data at a subnational level. Because when we develop indicators, especially in this context of SDGs, if you look into the area, you will find that we need to compile a large database. It is very important to develop, to compute effective indicators. This index, 62 indicators, offer insight into the social, economic, and environmental status of the country and the states, union territories in their march towards achieving SDGs. And the insights from the SDG India Index, were available in the public domain for policymakers, civil society, businesses, and the general public. This SDG India Index 2018 was the first effort by Government of India and perhaps anywhere globally that ranked subnational governments by computing composite index on SDG. SDG India Index 1, when it was developed, it has objectives, different objectives. They are to rank the performance of the states, union territories based on their achievement across SDG. So, for every goal, all states, union territories were ranked. A composite score was also calculated, which ranked the states, union territories based on their overall performance across multiple goals. Another objective is to promote healthy competition among the states, union territories in their journey towards achieving the global goals. So if we introduce that competition, so it will improve, or efficiency of progress will be high. And to support the states, union territories in identifying areas which demand more attention, to enable states, union territories to learn from the good practices of their peers, to highlight data gaps in the statistical system of the states or union territories and identify the sectors in which robust and more frequent data needs to be collected. Then second edition of the SDG India Index at SDG II was built up upon its first version, SDG II. In this SDG II, it was constructed using 100 indicators and covers target across 16 goals, bearing goal 17, which primarily focuses on partnership. And this partnership, still, we do not have enough data. That is one of the reasons. The indicator SDG II was focused on 16 goals. This second iteration of the SDG India Index, it represents a refinement and addresses many of the concerns raised by the development community by extensive peer review to ensure that selection of indicator is very robust. And of the 100, 68 indicators are directly taken from the National Indicator Framework. And 20 National Indicator Framework indicators have been modified or refined for the sake of data availability across all states or union territories. And under 12 indicators which are not part of NIF were identified in consultation with line ministry, with the ministries. So the respective ministries, departments, states and union territories were consulted on the uses of indicators and data availability. The SDG India Index 2 is more robust than the first edition on account of the broader coverage of goals, targets and indicators with greater alignment with the national institutional framework. So you will see here the performance of SDG index score of different states and union territories. So when you look here, based on SDG II score for the states range between 50 and 70. For the union territories, it belongs to the band 59 to 70. So this represents notable improvement from SDG II, that is 2018, when the states were ranged between 42 to 69. Now it is 50 and 70. And the union territory was 57 to 68, now 59 to 70. So we are improving. Kerala retained its rank as a top state with a score of 70. Chandigarh too also maintained its top spot among the union territories with a score of 70. Himachal Pradesh took the second spot, while Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Telangana shared the third spot respectively, while 3 out of 5 states in the top 3 spots perform equal to or better than the country average on 12 goals. The other 2 states do the same on 11 goals. While all but 5 states, union territory improves or retain their overall composite score from 2018 to 2019, the magnitude of change has been varied. The top 3 states in overall improvement deserve special mention. The Uttar Pradesh has improved its overall score from 42 in 2018 to 55 in 2019 and is the highest gainer. The biggest improvement has been in goal 7, that's on affordable and clean energy. That jump has been 40 points, right? Score in goal 6, clean water sanitation, and goal 9, industry innovation and infrastructure have climbed by 39 and 34 points respectively. Odisha stands second in overall improvement with an increase of 7 points from 51 to 58. Goal 9 has contributed mostly to the rise with a jump of 40 points. Goal 6 and 7 follow with an increase of 39 and 27 points respectively. Sikkim is the third best state in overall improvement from a score of 58 to 60, that of 65, indicating and increased by 7 points. The state has achieved commendable improvement in Goal 7, where it has recorded an increase by 55 points. In Goal 9, Sikkim has met a jump of 26 points, and performance in Goal 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities, has been by 18 points, which is the third biggest contributor to Sikkim's improvement. The significant improvement in Goal 6 is largely driven by the success of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in eliminating open defecation. Improvement in Goal 7 can be credited to the extensive coverage of LPG for household and saturation of electricity connection. The progress recorded under Goal 9 can be largely attributed to the improvement in the rural road coverage and the higher mobile internet penetration. So the composite score for India improved from 57 in 2018 to 60 in 2019. This indicates that the country overall has progressed forward in its journey towards achieving the SDGs. The 5 major goals that drive the positive push are Goal 6, clean and water sanitation; 7, affordable and clean energy; 9, industry innovation infrastructure; 15, life on land; and 16, peace and justice and strong institution, where India has scored between 65 and 99. 2 goals, that is goal number 2, zero hunger, and another goal, goal 5, gender equality. This needs special attention is the overall country score is below 50. So we need to work more on this particular 2 goals. In other 8 goals, excluding 14, that is life below water, that applies only to 9 coastal states, and the 17 partnership, that is 17, goal 17, that is on partnership for the goals, which needs qualitative analysis. The overall score lies between 50 and 64, including both, indicating the scope for significant improvement in the coming years. While in 2018, trees, and if you look into overall state, then we'll see, while in 2018, 3 states belong to the category of aspirants with a score of less than 50. None of the state or union territory found themselves in this category in 2019. Assam, Bihar, and Uttar Pradesh that graduated to the category of performers scores between 50 and 64, including both. Only 3 states were placed in the category of front runners with a score in the range of 65 to 99, including both in 2018, that is Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. In 2019, 5 more states joined in this league: Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Sikkim, and Goa, taking the total tally to 8. So you will see here in this map, aspirant is 0 to 49, performer is 50 to 64, then forerunner is 65 to 90, and achiever is 100%, that overall index. Okay, this is how they classify. So you will see goal-wise top status, state or union territories here based on this SDG India Index 2. Goal number 1, that poverty, Tamil Nadu, Jammu and Kashmir, and Ladakh, and this you will see from here goal top wise. And goal number 2, that is zero hunger, that's Goa and Chandigarh. Goal number 3, that is Kerala and Pondicherry. Goal number 4, Himachal Pradesh and Chandigarh. Goal number 5, that is Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, and Ladakh. On goal 6, Andhra Pradesh and Chandigarh. Then goal number 7, that's Sikkim and Pondicherry. Then goal number 8, that is Telangana and Chandigarh, is the goal-wise top state or union territory. So the conclusion is that India, with the whole 70% of the population, holds the key to global SDG achievement. And we are fully committed to achieving the global goals within specified timelines. The country is well aware of the prospect that if India does not meet the SDG, by world's one of the populous country, then the world will be far from achieving that. Today, the country faces multiple challenges in one side, in several sectors of development, like it may be health, nutrition, education, sanitation, infrastructure. However, these challenges also make India conducive for developing innovative solutions to address them, and also provide a useful lens for solving similar problems in other parts of the world. So we are making fast track progress towards meeting the SDG. India's development schemes and programs have been aligned with the global goals. To coordinate all the SDG efforts at the national and subnational level, NITI Aayog acts as the nodal institution. At the same time, owing to the federal structure of the country, the states, union territories play a significant role in ensuring the success of the SDG agenda, as they are the best place to put people first and ensure that no one is left behind. Thus, the progress achieved and distance to be covered by the states, union territories in their journey towards meeting the targets are measured by using the SDG India Index. The SDG India Index is a powerful tool which offers excellent possibilities for the states, union territories to identify priority areas which demand action, facilitate peer learning, highlights data gaps, and promote healthy competition. So the government of India has taken all the key steps to promote the localization of SDGs in the country by mandating NITI Aayog and the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation to play a coordinating role on planning and statistics respectively with the central ministries and the state government. In India, as you know, leadership has come from all quarters of the SDG. The Honorable Prime Minister of India has repeatedly advocated focus on climate justice for meeting the SDG. The Controller and Auditor General of India have assessed readiness to implement the SDGs. CSOs, community social organizations have been participating actively in advocacy on SDGs, and businesses have started to align with their CSR spend, including core business practices to impact the SDGs among others. While these reports are commendable and critical, it is also equally important to ensure regular monitoring of progress at all levels to keep a sight on the trajectory of result. So today, we have looked into how we align national development agendas with that of SDGs and how we follow a pathways of leadership and coordination from national to national to the bottom up to the district level, the monitoring mechanism, SDG India Index. So we are our government, India is progressing very well. So with this, let us meet in the next session. So the references I put here, it will be very useful for you. So today's session is basically based on the report published by NITI Aayog 2020 SDG India Index 2 and SDG for India at 75. Thanks all.